stacked, that's for sure. All right, everybody, we're just living the best life. Hey, you guys. All right, it is Wednesday, And it's time to do a little propaganda culture, some very interesting hot takes. I don't know. I like this background music. I think it's fun. I feel like hearing myself, like, just hearing myself, I'm just like, oh, I need some, like, interesting. We're just having, I'm trying to get, Nick is trying to join. But anyway, we got a lot of stories to cover today. We got some propaganda, we got some culture, we got some heavy copes. And we're going to get into the like Maui situation just a little bit. But then we'll probably, actually, we're going to jump over to locals so we can actually like say what we need to say. But anyway, if you need a link to the locals, it's in the description below under my name, like under the info for following me. But yeah, there's been a lot of going on. I've seen some things and I actually had a positive experience today because I saw a news report and I was looking at the comments. And I was seeing like there's been a fire hold on, let me see where it is. In Greece, there's like some fire or something happening in Greece, and it's just like, I don't know. It's like on NBC, and looking at the comments, people are like really, really not buying it. Like really, really not buying it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Let me see. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna download the reel so you guys can see it. But it's just like, what the hell? Yeah, all these wildfires. Aren't you guys just so concerned about all these wildfires due to climate change? Huh? Aren't you? Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy and so bad? I'm trying to get my guest to come in. Well, not my guest, the co-host. Let's see, what are these comments? So many articles about male loneliness lately, and not a single article mentioned gynocentrism and the continued implosion of traditional conservative gender roles into men. Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And, you know, while I'm just waiting for Nick to join so we can get into the articles, I wanted to touch on that for a second because I'm just so confused. Like, what happened? You know? Like, what happened to you guys? Like, for thousands of years, guys have been able to, like, I don't want to be rude, but for thousands of years, guys have been able to, like, manage dealing with dominating. And for just some reason now, God, I hate this headphone. It looks so like bright. For some reason now, it's like men can't like manage. It's like, we don't have community. We don't have this. We don't have that. And it's just so strange to me because I'm like, what happened? Like, it fell off real hard and real fast. And I don't get it what like other men are participating in this. Obviously, other men have to participate in this for this to like be able to happen. I guess it's just people have been so conditioned to follow that they'll follow off the cliff and just be fine with the situation and not really think and do anything when they see that it's not like working out for them. Masculinity is only a lot of women and femininity is only a lot of men. I know. It was a combination of Marxism and the internet. No, I agree. No, I totally agree. It was a combination of both. But that's what happens. I mean, when you know how to do psychological operations, you know how to get things to change dramatically. Our school system has destroyed the American mind. Yeah. No. It's totally a psyop, and it's a psyop that's not just women. A lot of guys are just telling me, oh, it's just women just are attacking us and want to take us down and all this. And I'm like, I don't think this is women. I don't think it's just, well, obviously the delivery mechanism. And I'm publishing a video, actually, I recorded so much content, I'm like, whoa. But I'm publishing a video on propaganda delivery mechanisms. You know, if you think about it, like the education system, the TV, the news, movies, films, influencers, articles, newsletters, all of these things are delivery mechanisms for the larger propaganda message. So like, God. So like, I think it's just one of the delivery mechanisms is through the women, but that can't be the source of the problem, because it can't just be the women, because then that would also mean that all of these dudes like acquiesce like hardcore. Why? I don't get it. I don't understand. Oh, because they were nagged into doing it? I can tell it's more of like a psychological operation when it's like when it's like such a dramatic change. When it's such a dramatic change and it just flips like that. You can tell it's manufactured. It's not natural. Let's just say that. You can always tell it's a psychological operation when it's literally just not natural at all. Like at all. And that's pretty plain to see here with the whole feminism thing. And the men just being like, oh, sure, whatever. Oh, whatever. Like, who cares? Yeah. Like, I'll just go along with it. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, men didn't do that for all this time. And now all of a sudden they're just like, oh, I'll just go along. All right, we're just waiting for Nick to just jump in. So I wanted to add yeah, thanks everybody. Men. The war on men is overt and the war on women is covert. They want us all, yeah, the war on women is overt and the war on women is covert. They want us all to be they, thems. No, totally true. And I like how philosophers think so much. I like how you really put that, because I'm going to use it all the time, but don't worry. We shout out all the co-writers, because I feel like all of you guys like contribute so much content. Like, it's insane. So much perspective. But the war is definitely like overt and covert, dealing with, the hemispheres of the mind, reality, all this like deep stuff. And, I need to actually, with philosophers, we need to actually pick a time and like do a live, like do some content on that to like break it down, because that is like a fundamental of psychological manipulation, is manipulating the binary. And in my video that I did on, that I'm going to be publishing on the rise of conservative males, I talk about the binary and how we're splitting and how they know how to do the divide and conquer strategy. Because when you break up the binary, when you're able to pollute that system, that yin and yang, you can do whatever you want. You can cause so much chaos. It's crazy to see, because everything, and this is propaganda culture, so this is okay to talk about. Everything in reality that manifests, meaning that becomes real, everything in reality that becomes real has components of femininity to it and has components of masculinity to it. And it's like there's a binary to it. There's, even in politics, you see it. The Democrats and the conservatives. The Republicans and the Democrats. Feminine is the Democrats, masculine is the Republicans. Let me get some water. Give me a second. I need to get some water. I got this like preview mode for my streaming software working, and I'm feeling like so pro right now because I can I won't be fumbling around because I'm just trying to like figure out how to get things looking good. But yeah, we have to, because eventually, like what I'm doing ultimately while we're waiting for Nick to get in, to give you some insight, is I'm trying to build up to actually teaching people how to do their own like grassroots counter propaganda, deprogramming, all that strategy, because we have our families. We have a duty to our families and our loved ones and our coworkers, just people in our community, to be able to effectively say like, hey, this is BS, like don't go along with it. But you have to like understand a lot of things. You have to understand the human mind. That's complicated. Like that takes time, like to understand the basic components so you can manipulate them. You can't really manipulate things. I mean, you can, but it's like pretty haphazard. You can't really use and change something if you don't know how it works. You can't like change the way or improve an engine in a car if you don't know how the engine works. It's the same thing with mind and society and messaging. Duality. Ooh. What's this? Duality exists in all things. When we pretend it doesn't, we become incoherent. I know. And then we become toxic and polluted. That's why we see these like two binaries like going off in the extremes. They become toxic to each other because we like cycle the yin and yang, like we cycle in and out of each other. Like it's like this give and take. We're a perpetual motion machine that relies on the balance between the two charges. Like the same with a battery. Like everything represents this. Like a battery, you cannot have a functioning battery if you don't have the charges working properly. I'm gonna start a YouTube channel soon. Use the one I have. I'm going to rename it Starlight White Male. Straight White Male. That's a good one. Yeah, Straight White Male. That's going to be a good one. Yeah. There needs to be, and I'm working on a video on this. There needs to be, I'm just telling you all, like basically when I tell you this, it's either stuff that I recorded or I'm like writing out. But anyway, there needs to be like a video where there's a woman being like, men need to heal. Like all of this, men need to like go off and figure out what they need to do and like do it. Like it can't be women. Oh, women advocate for us and all this stuff. It's like, shut up, ladies, like move aside, because men need to figure this shit out. I just can't in my mind believe that this is not like this whole feminist agenda isn't like male driven, because like in nature, in all of time, men have like controlled culture and controlled societies and civilizations, and then all of a sudden in the last 50 years men like totally stopped doing that. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? That seems forced. Hashtag forced. But yeah, I don't know, overall it's just interesting to see how things are shaping up and how things are being moved in the narrative, but working up to giving people the tools to actually like do the things they need to do, because it's all about building clout. It's all about managing perception, change management, making people like you. I don't know. And then, talking about propaganda culture, it's funny to me how people think that you have to have something of substance to actually get people to like believe you or do something you need. Like it doesn't even matter. Just make something up. Just make it up. Like, I mean, seriously, like when you think about the left and what narratives they push and how in such extremes they go to build these like associations, like the Jason Aldean song, where she's like, there was a video and this woman's like, oh, because they filmed in front of this like courthouse, obviously that's a subtle and soft bigotry reference of the racist past. And it's like, bro, you're reaching. Not only are you insane, but you're reaching. What is this? What are your thoughts on neutrality? I think it's a myth. Everything must be filtered through someone's interpretation of truth. Well, I think that basically there is, okay, so in nature, there is natural law. There is God's law. There is how reality works. Just like everything has gender to it. Everything has that. It's part of a duality. It's part of a binary, except for God. Everything is... There's certain moral stances that you have to take, just not because it's good or bad, or it's because the religion's in it. It's more just because, like, if you do things with children that are unholy, for example, that is like every person who's a functioning human being finds that abhorrent. You don't need a religion or anything to tell you that. So there's certain things that are built into us that we know, okay, this is wrong. We can't do it. So I don't think there's neutrality. I think the Satanists like to pretend that. I think that the atheist likes to pretend that. And I really, really wish, this is another thing, I really, really wish that we could stop allowing the left to say, oh, we don't believe in your religion, so whatever objective, immoral, like sick, disgusting thing that we want to do is fine because, oh, we're just not religious, and that all of that just came from religion. Like, no, it didn't. Filtered isn't the right word, but if you get my point. Yeah. So whatever religion that you have or whatever you come from, it's just, there are certain things you don't do because, not because you don't like them or they're bad, but because they will lead to the downfall of your society. Okay. So, oh my gosh, Nick is here. Okay. All right, he's getting set up. So we have some fun clips, you guys. The copium. I'm going to start off with the one that I thought was the funniest first, because, I have to do that. I have to do that. But yeah, overall though, I think that on the platform that I'm doing, I want to build up to being able to explain to people how propaganda works. That's going to be one portion. And then the other portion is how reality works in the human mind. So it's like, human mind is this, because we're not taught about the human mind. Like, we have no concept of how the actual human mind works. That's not what slaves learn. Hello? Slaves don't learn that. Like, come on. So you can't really manipulate it. And the thing is, the left has an advantage on us over all those things, because they objectively study how reality works and how the human mind works, and then they go ahead and pollute it. Do the most objective research possible. What is that? Do the most objective research possible. You must be hyper aware of your own bias. Another example of duality. Yes, you do. You do. You really, really do. Because if you're a propagandist, if you understand propaganda, you can't let your personal opinion get in the way. You have to have that detachment. And that's something you learn through just practicing discipline. You have to have detachment. You can't say, oh, this is bad or this is good. At some point you have to go higher than that and just detach and be like, objectively, what is this achieving? And then that way you can really determine what's bad and what's good, because you can see the outcome. Men are the police. Men are the strength behind the law. And when a woman's in need of help, they call the police, no matter their political opinions. Yeah. Except my demographic is the only demographic of women who literally advocate for their own literally advocate for their own safety being threatened. That and the liberals who want to have the open borders. But yeah, my demographic really likes to go around advocating to defund the police. Defund the police. Yeah, Chad O'Jackson, totally appreciate his work. Really funny stuff on his podcast, and really insightful. And he recently did a one on Black excellence, you guys. The Black excellence episode was so good. I just have been going around trolling Twitter, Black Twitter, just being like, this is peak Black excellence. Peak Black excellence. It's like, you guys are so pathetic. Yeah. I had recently a white woman call me. What did she say? She's like, you're a mixed race, not totally black woman, criticizing this black woman. Da, 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 da. I'm like, did you just learn all these words? Like talking about misogynoir and all this. I'm like, shut up. I just can't stand these people who are so obsessed with skin tone. Yeah, I'm going to criticize you regardless of your skin tone, lady. You're insane. Ooh, what is that? Religion for the right wing and ideology for the libs. I know, they love their ideology. They love it. Dude, okay. So I'm going to do a preview of what we're going to talk about on the live locals. I'm going to do a preview because you have to see this post. You have to see this. Okay? You have to see this. Like, when I saw this, I was just like, what? What's happening? Like, what is happening? Like, who? Like, what reality am I in? Like, what reality am I in? You know, it just was like so bizarre to me. Here, okay, there we go. Look at this cover. Look at the cover. Look at the title of this cover of this podcast. David Martin was a I can't even say the name. Like, this is Dr. Drew. And yes, I call him Zaddy Drew. Because I'm being silly. Where's my scene where I can, like, where is it? I don't understand why it's doing this weird thing. But yeah, I mean, the pandemic, like, people are asking me, and I don't know if you have people asking you this. Oh, hi, Nick. You're coming on or no? I don't know. People are asking me, they're like, oh, are they going to be able to launch the C19 again? Are they going to be able to do it? And I'm just like, my personal opinion is like, no, they're not going to. I do not think they'll be able to pull it off. Why? Because no one cares. They don't care. Nobody cares. And also, it's kind of played out. People are tired of it. Like, only the most insane are going to go down with it, but like, they're still in it. Okay, they're still in the thing. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this on the like locals, because there's no way I'm playing that. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it all. Okay, how do I get this thing to go? Dude. It's just... Alright, we're gonna... The FBA group held a little struggle session for Bryan Cranston in Twitter Spaces. And if you guys don't know what a struggle session is, it's when they basically interrogate you and try to get you, it's like 1984, like say 2 + 2 is 5 sort of thing. Like, you have to believe this and you have to say that it's real. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. Okay, I don't know if Nick is going to be able to join. He's like having some issues. He's having some serious issues. But that's okay, because I can just talk about myself and talk about propaganda all on my own. I can just... I can just like do that. But no, so I'm going to talk about that on locals because I downloaded just like a little clip of the interview. But basically, the fact that you have somebody as mainstream as Dr. Drew, and Dr. Drew is not an alarmist. Dr. Drew is not some conspiracy guy. Dr. Drew is like well known. He is like well respected. He is not he's not playing games with people. And the fact that because he's talked to so many people about this topic, and the fact that he's come to the conclusion that we should have somebody on who will say this narrative, that speaks a lot to the mainstream acceptance. Is he having a struggle? Yeah. Nick, paging Nick. I work in healthcare, and the more than 80% of color life... Oh, Kofifi deaths had concurring medical problems such as obesity, diabetes. Okay, those aren't real. That's not a real factor. You can't tell if someone has diabetes if they're unhealthy. The government never addressed that, and the country overall is unhealthy, not Kofi. Yeah, no, I agree. Whatever. It's just, we already know what it is. It's not that hard to believe. It's not that difficult. I don't really care. Like, I don't get why people are confused. Like, there's nothing to be confused about. It is what it is. Like, yeah, so we're gonna talk about that. And then, I don't know. Okay, so the Maui fires, though, that stuff is insane. That is insane to me. And I'm just, like, really concerned about humanity and the fact that we're, like, just okay with this. Let me load the clip from this recent attack. Sorry, it's not an attack, it's a fire. The recent fire that's happening, just a fire, just a regular fire. It's no big deal. Nothing about it is sketch. I totally agree with whatever's happening. Yeah, I totally agree with theirs, right? Oh my god. Okay, I'm trying to get him on, come on. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, unmute yourself and talk. Can you speak? Guests muted themselves. Okay. I can't hear you. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna let you figure that out for a second. We're gonna go back to the mode where I'm just me because this is so insane. Okay, but let's play the clip while he tries to figure it out. Hopefully you can figure it out. Just like, what's going on? Checking out these wildfires. Because this is insanity to me. This is like legitimately sketch. Like legitimately. These new fires are not normal at all. Like, they're not. I'm sorry. I don't care. They're not normal. Like, how do you have this happening? It just doesn't look like what? And it's like a very strange, it's just a very strange vibe to it, if you get what I'm saying. You know, it's got a strange vibe to it. It's not a normal thing. It doesn't seem normal. OMG. Totally legit. They're saying Nick should play just charades. Okay, but yeah, look at that. Like, what is going on? Does that look at me? What? But the comments, those comments, you guys, the comments. And this is, I hope that they don't try to take my stream down if I like show you guys the comments, because it's like people are pretty, they're shocking me, actually. I'm pretty shocked. I'm pretty shocked. Let me go to the browser so you can see these comments. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, I love this new mode. Okay, you can see these comments. Look at this. Like, the NBC News posted this. This is like NBC News, okay? They post this. The comments, are we still pretending this is natural? All known what is doing to us. It's no secret anymore. This is obviously not climate change. Our government How much more before we actually remove these clowns lawfully? If anyone still believes all this is wildfires, or climate change, or global warming, then you probably still believe in Santa Claus. This is evidently man-made. I mean, humanity is not really... I don't know, maybe somehow the algorithm edits the comments so I see comments that I would agree with, but that doesn't make any sense to me. I have never seen this. Attack on humanity. It's the world government attacking us. Greek, hopefully, has been absolutely amazing for chilling. These fires are all deliberate. Ooh. I don't know. Strange how undercover reporters for Project Veritas caused CNN discussing plans to push climate fear porn all summer last winter. Yeah. U.S. government. Just like Hawaii? People are just like, I don't know. But this is crazy to see all these comments. Funny how the wildfires seem to be steadily attack tourist spots now. There is a method behind the madness, and it's certainly not Mother Nature. Also quite mind-boggling is how Oprah has 1,000 acres right next to raging wildfires, but the fires never touch any of her property in 2 different states. Our government is playing God with military weather tactics. I mean, this isn't me saying it. This is people. So, I mean, it is what it is. Like, don't you think? Don't you think? Oh, okay. So it's doing the browser. Okay, I get what it's doing. I think it's a good sign. I do. I think it's a really, really good sign that people are just like not just going along with it, honestly. America has never viewed Hawaii as a state. They view it as nothing more than a military jump, and if we're attacking... Okay, just like the 2020 riots in Minnesota, all the rioting and damage occurred in a magical straight line through and onto enterprise zone where the taxes would be cheaper for whoever buys the property. Oh. Oops. Yeah, because they would never want to clear the way. Yeah, I like the trolling. I like the trolling. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think this is a good sign. I think this is a really good sign, you know? Because we need humanity to just be paying attention. We need humanity to be paying attention. There's just too much going on, and it's crazy because as they push these agendas, it actually like makes people wake up. Like it makes people want to wake up, and it makes people pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that people that we take for granted is the more they push, the more there's going to be the counter where people are like, this sounds weird. This sounds sketch. Like I don't think it makes any sense, and it just doesn't seem right. I feel like I want to question things now, you know? I feel like this isn't all that I thought it was, because it's not all that you think it is. There's just too much going on for people to not notice, you know? There's just way too much going on for people not to notice. Where's that clip where the little girl... I think there's a clip with the little girl. Where this girl, let me see if I can find it. Where this girl was just like, it made me think about, you know, I don't know what she was like some like girl in the street. If I can find it. Dang, I have so many clips. I have like so much stuff. Oh, I have the clip of somebody hitting somebody over the head with a chair. Thank God I have that clip. I don't see where the little girlie is. She's not. It just made me think, you know. That was like the reenactment. That's a reenactment. It just made me think. Oh my God. This is ridiculous. There's like way too much going on. All right. I don't know if Nick is going to be able to join, but we're just going to keep piling through. So I'm going to go to the first clip of... Let me see. I'm going to go to the first clip of the ridiculous... To piggyback off of the whole idea that people are actually waking up, check this out. Check this. Check it. Check it this. Check it to this. This is prosperity. This is hope for the children.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That 95% of the US population is brainwashed into believing that working 50 years of their life on a job that they don't really want to do and trading all of that for 5 to 10 years of quote-unquote freedom, but it's not really freedom because you're old and you can't even enjoy it. It is unrealistic. It is, quite frankly, stupid. Follow for more random tips.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That 95% of the US population is brainwashed into believing that working 50 years of their life on a job that they don't really want to do and trading all of that for 5 to 10 years of quote-unquote freedom, but it's not really freedom because you're old and you can't even enjoy it. It is unrealistic. It is, quite frankly, stupid. Follow for more random tips.
I mean...
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
You have to be
that
honest.
95% of the US population is brainwashed into believing that working 50 years of their life on a job that they all...
I mean, you have to be honest. That kind of makes a lot of sense. And it's good to see because everyone's like, oh my God, Gen Z, they're just like so messed up and they're not like really working. They're not like together and they're just so trash. And it's like, yeah... A huge portion of them are, but there's also a portion of them that are literally like waking up to the BS because it is BS. Like, why? Like, all of these things are not real. Like, all of this stuff is not real. Like, we don't have to do all of this stuff. We just don't. We literally don't. Like, why? Like, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to believe this? No. We don't. We don't have to believe it. We just don't. Oh my God. I'm just like blown away. I really, really am. There's just too much happening. There's just too much happening for Gen Z not to pay attention and Gen Z not to be like, oh my God, this isn't correct. Oh my gosh. Why is this happening? This is so ridiculous. People are brainwashed. People are brainwashed into believing that the news or the politicians are leaners. I wouldn't trust any of them to lead me across the street. No, I totally agree. Yeah, no, they're not. They have the illusion of power. They have this illusion that they're projecting, and it's just like, oh, we're in power of everything. No, they're not. They're not in power of anything. It's a lie. And the way they're able to perpetuate this lie is just through, obviously, their psychological manipulation. Okay. What's the next comment? It starts... It's in 10 years homesteading with a YouTube channel and ad revenue pays for your land in Montana. That's crazy. It's more than just liking your job. It's the fact that our economy is bleeding the middle class dry. I know, it's specifically designed for that. That's the thing. Or just like a gear in the machine. They will just replace you. I know. So yeah, the people before, I hear this all the time. I hear this all the freaking time. Is people are like, oh, you know, I was just told that's how you should do things. And I was just told that's how it was. And I was just told. And it's like, why were you listening? Why were we listening to them? I was told a lot of things too, but I didn't believe it and I didn't do it. Hello? Like that whole thing of like, oh, well, I was told to do it. It's just like, no, you should use your own discernment. Like, what is wrong with you? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they think? Okay, what is the... Let's see. Okay, what is the next clip? So I have this other... So I have a bunch of clips. I'm just going to get into it because I don't know when Nick is going to get in. So let's look at... Speaking of the whole next psyop, let's look at what is currently being portrayed without any sort of prompting. They just decide, oh, let's continue this charade. And look at this crazy chick.
With me to the Eras tour in LA is someone who still doesn't care to be infected with COVID. Here's what's in my bag if you want to see all the details. There's a whole video on that. But don't look at the comments. It is a cesspool of ableist garbage. Anyway, I decided that if I was going to go at all, I was not only going to keep myself safe, but give others the option to keep themselves safe as well. So I pool of ableist garbage. Anyway, I decided that if I was going to go at all, I was not only going to keep myself safe, but give others the option to keep themselves safe as well. So I brought a bunch of extra masks. Spoilers, no one took me up on it, but I was moving pretty quickly through crowds because, you know, I didn't want to spend a lot of time.
So she's saying that people responding to her TikTok was a bunch of ableist garbage. I love how on TikTok they talk so fast, so it's barely like you can barely comprehend what they're saying. It's just subtle enough though that you can hear what they're saying.
In crowded spaces. That said, in the past when I have made the offer, people take them. It is what it is. But I'm not going to the show out of altruism, of course. I'm going because I want to hear the music, the same reason anybody else goes to a show. I haven't been to many concerts since 2020, and never in my life have I been to a show of this scale. So while I do go more places for my job as a photographer than a lot of chronically ill people are able to do right now, as this pandemic yet again surges, this time unabated, I definitely had a lot less information going into this than, say...
Can someone please explain to me how this woman is chronically ill? She's chronically inflamed. But I don't think she's chronically ill, but okay.
Some of my workspaces. And since I'm going alone, I have to be ready to handle not only airborne mitigation on my own, but also any of my usual chronic illness symptoms that may come up. So as I go over in my What's in My Bag video, I used Lear's xylitol nasal spray, as well as kept the PORE, P-O-R-E, personal HEPA filter close at hand, on top of the usual face mask, which, as you can see, I accounted for in my makeup routine. I like to go really hard on the eye makeup because no one's gonna see anything below it. If you're unfamiliar with Taylor Swift, I'm channeling her Lover album for this makeup and outfit. I chose earrings on the smaller side that would minimally interfere with my mask. I figured I was gonna be really sweaty, so I just pulled my bangs back. As a fellow Sagittarius, we're doing an homage to the archer with the necklaces, and as you can see, I nailed it on the location of the heart. It doesn't interfere with my mask at all. Alright, time to drive to the show. August 3rd was a beautiful day in LA. Here's the full fit check. Please ignore water from washing my hands on my dress. If you're wondering whether or not middle-aged men will still catcall you if you wear a mask, the answer is yes. So the first thing I did was accounted for in my makeup routine. I like to go fit check. Please ignore water from washing my hands on my dress. If you're wondering whether or not middle-aged men will still catcall you if you wear a mask, the answer is yes. So the first...
I love these chicks who are so like upset if a man like talks to them or I guess cat calls them or whatever. I love how it's just like, dude, you should be thankful. Like no one should be hollering at you at all. Like they're so weird. They're so weird. They're so weird.
First thing I did, which I did.
Wah, wah, wah. I'm a victim. Wah. I know. They realize they just absolved themselves from having anything to do with the fact. No longer the case. I know. It's just like, yeah, no vitamins, vegan diet, no exercise, probably drinks a bunch. Oh, of course. That doesn't affect you.
Not get video of was actually go to the restroom in the McDonald's across the street from where I parked. That way I could avoid lines at the stadium. Then I hopped on the shuttle to SoFi, which had all its windows closed until I opened them. When I got there, it was a bit of a walk to my entrance, but it's so nice. Genuinely could not have...
You know what's funny? How she talked about she got on the bus and she opened all the windows. You know, in medieval times, they thought that diseases were spread by bad smells. So they thought if you just had like high ceilings, it would reduce the idea of viral infection like transferring in humans. And yeah, that's stupid. It's obviously not the case.
Asked for better weather, including a breeze, which I took as a good sign, because when I researched SoFi's ventilation prior to getting my ticket, I found that it was literally designed to harness the ocean breeze. You actually cannot close parts of the stadium. This apparently angered football fans to the point of making headlines when they got soaked in the LA rain. Got there just...
Oh, by chronically ill, she probably means anxiety and or neurodivergence. I know. That's exactly what she means. That one's a good one. Left really did damage on people during the COVID. Yeah, the left really brainwashed people.
As the openers were finishing, to limit my time in crowds, this is me giving you the most eye mouth eye of all time, because wow, I've never been in a place like this. These are the CO2 readings from inside the stadium. I'm gonna leave the sound.
Okay, so she's doing CO2 ratings. Yeah, because that's not weird. That's not weird at all. Like, please. That's not weird. That's gonna be my like psycho laugh. Like, it's not weird at all.
On just so you can get an idea of like how much people are screaming around me. If you're new to the idea of measuring CO2 in a space, it's a tool we can use as a proxy for the amount of exhalation that is hanging in the air. Since I do not want to be infected, I want to avoid people's exhalation, which is also what keeping the air filter so close to me helps with. As you can see, none of these things really...
I'm not sure which TikTok this is from. I'd have to look at the original video if I find it. But there's no TikTok marker on this, so...
interfered with how much fun I had. Now, there were very few people wearing masks around me, but there was one. It was so loud I didn't even get her name, but I did give her a bracelet. I gave her dancing with our masks on, she gave me be kind. As the night went on, the CO2 did get a little higher. Hold on, secret song break.
Yeah, no. This is
By the time I got to the midnight set, my air filter needed a little charge, which is no problem because it can charge with the same...
By the way, the entire time she kept an air filter like this next to her, like this. I can't. This is not. I like how she expects the entire world to change for her, but she doesn't have any responsibility. I'm just wondering how long ago it was, or if recent. It could totally be recent. No, the Taylor Swift concert is recent. The LA thing is recent. Like, Taylor Swift was just in LA. And she's one of the few people wearing a mask.
Stuff that charges my phone. I had it on the highest setting the whole time. A charge can last longer on lower setting. Surprisingly, CO2 was a little higher walking out and pretty high on the shuttle back to parking, but I waited to the last one, even though it was pretty late, just so it wasn't as crowded. So yeah,
Okay, so she waited to the last drive so she could get a bus that was less crowded. Like, bro, oh my God. Okay.
Taking precautions on these nights is not necessarily the easy fun I wish it were, but is it doable? Yes. And might this have been safer than some of my literal jobs? Yep. At least from the CO2 data, that appears to be the situation. I'd never pretend it's easy to exist right now, but can it be done? What I can say is I've never gotten it and still tested negative now, so it's gotta count for something.
Their accent is so annoying. The leftist accent, can we just talk about the leftist accent is so annoying. Their accent is so smug and annoying. I cannot stand it. It's like so... I just, no. It's disgusting. Yeah, the way they speak is just like trash. I cannot stand it. Is it doable? Yes. Is she doable? Wait. Is it doable? Yes. Is she doable? No. But like, look at her body. I mean, if you see her body, it's just like a trash body. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not in peak physical shape? Why are you super inflamed that you're like 25 and you have jowls? Like, you have to be like peak inflammation. Oh my God. I have a veteran friend who has severe PTSD from duty in Iraq. He never complains. You would never hear him say anything like this. I know, because they're insane. I can't deal with the trash bodies. The trash body psychos. Ugh, they're just cringe on every single every level that can be a level of cringe. You get these people. Okay. Okay, and speaking of cringe and trash. Cringe trash. Let's look at that. When you're struggling because your partner's on a date with someone else, tips: spend time with your good friends or doing something you enjoy. Find a way to really feel their love for you. For example, imagine them doing. Embrace the discomfort. Life is not about avoiding pain. It's about choosing pain that's meaningful to you. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yuck. Gross. Gross. Yeah, I'm gonna play this one more time. There's nothing about this. There's nothing about this that is redeeming. There's so much. There's so much wrong with that chick. So she's a polyamorous relationship, and she's over here trying to encourage other people to engage in a polyamorous lifestyle, and she's trying to share her cope. Why is their partner on a date with someone else? Because they're in a polyamorous relationship. Emotional. Here we go. Yes. Emotional damage. Like, I can't even do the guys. That's literally, yes, emotional damage. That is literally what it is. It's a cope. Like, it's an epic cope. Just, what? Look at her eyes. Okay. Look at her eyes. Look at the sadness. Look at the extreme misery and sadness in her eyes. Are you serious? What? Disgusting. And the body. Like, the body. Hormonal damage. Now, I'm not calling this out because I'm making fun of her body. I'm calling it out because this is a sign that your hormones are damaged. Like, that's not, no. If your love is strong, it gets easier with over time. Look at her face. If she's in a polyamorous relationship, why ain't she out banging other dudes? Because she doesn't have a date this night. It's her partner who has a date, and yeah, it's a problem. But obviously, she's not happy about it, but obviously, because she's in a polyamorous relationship. Is this one a transgender? Can't tell. No, this is a female. It has like boobs, but it's like, yeah, gross. I mean, not gross but in that way, but like hormones totally trashed from obviously depression and all the things. Yeah, it's so bad. I mean, this is the reality we live in. Like, how is this okay? Women, honestly, women just buy into the most ridiculous things and are just fine with it for like literally no reason. Like literally no reason. Like, don't buy into that. You have to be having serious problems if you want to buy into that. It's not okay. It's not okay, you guys. Okay, what is I'm just so disappointed. You know, I'm just so disappointed in humanity at this point. I'm just really, really disappointed in humanity. Okay, the next thing I want to show you guys is this clip. Okay. Now we've heard about the whole crypto thing coming up, but I haven't seen it like starting. Like I didn't see that it's actually starting. So here, let's look at a little pilot push from our good friends, from our good globalist friends. I don't know if you guys seen this, but
we want money. We'll do anything for money. I'm jobless and I'm broke. That's why I'm here.
But would you let a crypto orb scan your eyeball for crypto cash? Over the weekend, WorldCoin drew long lines of young Kenyans keen to get crypto in return for a scan of their eyes. But now the Kenyan government has decided to suspend the activities and termed the move as steps to protect its citizens' data privacy. So what is WorldCoin and how does it work? The deal is you gaze into the orb and you get given 25 free WorldCoin tokens, about $50. Confused? You will be. The founders of WorldCoin want people to use the coin and the network. But they want you to prove you're a human first by scanning your eye. The BBC went along to one of their pop-up centers in Kenya. It takes about 10 seconds of staring into the lens. Then it beeped to show it works. The iris scan is given a unique number and then is checked against a giant database that the company says has over 2 million verified human beings. When it beeped again, it means your details had been added to the database, meaning you could use WorldCoin in the future. And as for your iris scan, WorldCoin says that your information gets deleted straight away. Privacy experts, however, worry that the information may fall in the wrong hands. And others are concerned that this may all just be a bit dystopian in the first place.
We want money. We'll do anything for money. I'm jobless and I'm broke. That's why I'm here.
But would you let a crypto orb scan your eyeball for crypto cash? Over the weekend, WorldCoin drew long lines of young Kenyans keen to get crypto in return for a scan of their eyes. But now the Kenyan government has decided to suspend the activities and termed the move as steps to protect its citizens' data privacy. So what is WorldCoin and how does it work? The deal is you gaze into the orb and you get given 25 free WorldCoin tokens, about $50. Confused? You will be. The founders of WorldCoin want people to use the coin and the network. But they want you to prove you're a human first by scanning your eye. The BBC went along to one of their pop-up centers in Kenya. It takes about 10 seconds of staring into the lens. Then it beeped to show it works. The iris scan is given a unique number and then is checked against a giant database that the company says has over 2 million verified human beings. When it beeped again, it means your details had been added to the database, meaning you could use WorldCoin in the future. And as for your iris scan, WorldCoin says that your information gets deleted straight away. Privacy experts, however, worry that the information may fall in the wrong hands. And others are concerned that this may all just be a bit dystopian in the first place.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, I was just muted. But yeah, no, this is like some dystopian stuff, like for real. This is like some really dark-sided, evil stuff. This is what we're going with. This is what we're having. So luckily, I mean, if you look at overall, this makes my skin crawl. Yeah, There are a lot of marks of the beast. Even the social security number is one of them. Yeah, that's true. This makes, in one hand, people are waking up to the whole agenda type of situation. But on the other hand, it's really deeply disturbing. They're trying to launch something like this. Like, what? I don't know. It's crazy. The propaganda. So at least there's some positive stuff out there. At least some positive news. Like we saw the comments for the whole situation in Greece. At least we saw that. At least, not so bad. It's good to see. People are waking up. But yeah, I don't know about all of this. I don't know. It's like one step forward, two step back. But anyway, that is my recap of some of this propaganda culture. And I'm sad Nick wasn't able to join due to technical difficulties. It's crazy. But we were going to talk about all of this stuff. But yeah, I'm going to do a live on locals at some point soon. But I'm going to jump off of here and get some of this content together. I have a lot of stuff to edit. I looked through and I was like, yes, finally. Thank you, Leo. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your support. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I want to just keep coming with the content, keep with the videos, so much content, because I need to produce more content. But it takes a lot of time and like figuring out what you guys like to hear about, because I don't know. Some of the stuff I want to talk about is kind of weird. So I feel like I'm getting a good stride. But I'm going to get off of here, do some editing, and then definitely going to do This Week in Propaganda on, I believe I should do it. I don't know. I want to do it on Fridays, but every other Friday I'm not available. So I don't want to do it on Fridays. So I think I'll just do it Thursday. Like every Thursday to catch up. Layla, don't let the man keep you dead. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. And yeah, join my locals. I should be able to do a local stream within today or tomorrow to talk about the whole C19 Dr. Drew episode and a couple other things like the Maui situation. And hopefully even Nick can join that. Hopefully you can join that. That would be cool. But thanks to you guys. I'll talk to you later. Stay vigilant. Weird is fun and works on YouTube quite well. The rabbit hole is, it's pretty intense. Okay, bye.